Today I messed up. I edged myself for 3 hours and now I'm worried. I decided to try to edge myself for as long as I could. When I started to reach the 2-hour mark I felt as if I had gas building up below my stomach, but I thought to just keep going. Once I hit around the 3-hour mark I just let it go because that same place underneath my stomach was starting to hurt. I never had such a big load before, but it also hasn't hurt like this. What worried me the most was that when I looked at my thing it looked as if it became inflamed. The tip of it also looked like it became like a tip of a pencil. Some of my veins also looked like they became inflamed too. 30 or so minutes later my thing is going back to normal. Today I messed up by letting my BF use the dorm bathroom. So I'm currently in college and I live in a suite-style dorm. My roommate and I have our own separate bedrooms and share a small kitchen area and a bathroom. Important context on my roommate: she was a random selection. We're very different majors, have separate friend groups, barely ever home at the same time, and basically we don't talk much or know much about each other. Not a problem at all for me, we've both always been civil and respectful of each other. So basically what happened was that my BF stayed the night last night since it's the weekend and we got up this morning to go to breakfast. On the way out the door, he used the bathroom really quickly. Later, while at lunch I got an angry text from my roommate basically telling me that he had to sanitize the floor this morning because there was pee on it and that it wasn't her first time having to do that. Immediately I felt horrible. She told me she knows my BF is here a lot and she wanted to make sure I'm aware of it and asked that I please clean up after my guests and myself because she doesn't want to do that. This is genuinely so incredibly embarrassing and disgusting and I feel absolutely horrible. I texted her back immediately and said understood, I'm so sorry about all of that and I will make sure that it never happens again. Today I messed up by realizing I have been accidentally staring at every woman I've ever met's boobs. I, a woman who likes other women, was talking to one of my best friends, another woman who likes women, and she asked me, why do you always stare at my tits? Obviously I'm like, what? No I don't, and I deny this slanderous accusation. What do you mean? You literally only stare at my chest when you talk to me. Like I know you're gay but. Now for some important backstory. I am bad with social cues and so is my entire family. I was never raised with a strict rule of making eye contact with people. In fact in my household it was often the opposite. I was usually too scared to look somebody in the eye. So where did my eyes land? Their chest. Due to me realizing my fuck up hand, I explain and apologize profusely. We laugh and joke about but I'm pretty sure they think that I was just making an excuse to stare at their tits. Later at home, in my comfortable bed while trying to fall asleep, I cringe about every time a woman must have thought I was staring at their tits when in reality I was just too scared to look them in the face. My teachers, my crushes, my friends all thought I was staring at their tits. I will never recover from this. My next step is working on maintaining eye contact with people. Today I messed up by not getting a rabies vaccine. This event occurred almost 3 months ago but now the realization of it just hit me. I, 23 was bit by what I thought was a stray dog. I was coming from school when I heard something rapidly approaching me but before I could react I felt something on my left leg. It was a dog and it tried to attack me but couldn't quite bite me. This whole thing probably lasted about 5 seconds when the dog ran away. I arrived home, checked my leg and turns out it wasn't a bite but barely a scratch. I cleaned the area as there was a bit of blood coming out of it and since it wasn't a full bite I didn't think much of it. Also the pants I was wearing were completely normal, not even ripped or scratched from it. So I went on with my day as I had a lot going on in the following days. Since it happened I barely thought of it but now it just hit me that I should have gotten the vaccine regardless of how the events happened. As I read that it could also be transmitted via saliva. Pretty much since yesterday I've been reading more about it and I realized that I shouldn't have downplayed the situation and it was an urgent matter. At this point I doubt there's anything I could do so I guess I'm just waiting for something to happen or not happen, but I would prefer the second one that's for sure. Today I messed up cracking my BF screen while giving RH. So this happened last night. My BF, 24M, and I, 34F, were out riding backroads on a date when I decided to get a little frisky and give him some roadhead. Things were going splendidly until I came up for a breath but kept giving him a handjob when a deer ran out in the middle of the road. Unable to move his right leg, he slams on the brake with his left foot and I hit his center dash hard. My elbow smashed into his screen and cracked it. He asked profusely if I was okay, and I am. I feel terrible for breaking his shit but we are both okay, deer included. We'll be paying to replace his screen.